Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video. In this video, I wanted to discuss, because I don't know if I ever truly told how I was led to Christ, what led me to where I'm at now, with the things that I know now, the knowledge that I have. And I don't really know exactly where to start, because there's a lot of specifics in my situation. But I'll start by saying that I've always had faith, genuine faith, and truly, I always thought that everyone else did too. But with what I know now, I know that that is not the case. That even if someone claims to have faith in God, it doesn't mean that they actually do. But yeah, I just want to start by saying I've always had faith my whole life, even when things were happening. Because I'm not perfect, right? But it was always there. And what led to my being born again, to my awakening, was it's hard to pinpoint where it started, like what started my awakening. You could say it was a chain of events that was kind of put in motion. But basically, I was working a job, and at this job, things were happening with the people around me that were a bit too coincidental and a bit too, what's the word? A bit too, I guess the word would be consistent, that I was wondering, why does this keep happening to me? And I started wondering, like, this is where it started with me, is I started wondering, what's wrong with these people? Why are they acting like this? Why are they doing this to me? And that's where it first started. And then so basically things were happening with those around me at my job, and it was getting kind of worse over time. It was amplifying. It was basically getting so bad with those around me, with what they were doing or in some cases not doing, that it forced me to look for answers. And so I left that job, and then even after I left, things were still kind of continuing to happen on not on such a big level, but they were still happening until eventually I'm like I called to God one night, and there's so many specifics here, but I called to him, and the next day I started getting this weird feeling. I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it was basically beginning my process of coming out of the world. And it took some time from that point onwards to kind of put the pieces together and figure out what was happening. And I was being refined throughout this time. It took about a couple months. I would say more, maybe 3, 4 months of just feeling uncomfortable. And eventually that uncomfortableness went away, and I actually had a feeling of complete calmness and contentment. And this all happened after I cried out to God one night. And then I was like, during or after this, I should say, I was looking for answers on the internet as to what did I just experience, and what's going on with the world? What's wrong with this place? What's wrong with people? Why does no one seem to care about anything? And I guess that's what set me apart is I do care. And it took me some time to realize that not everyone is like that. In fact, I would say most aren't. Most don't care. And I was led, eventually, it took some time, but I was led to a YouTube channel called Pastor Daniel Christ is King. And he has all kinds of videos and live streams that I highly recommend that you watch and listen to. And he taught me, God led me to him. And he taught me what I know now. Now I can see that not everyone is a human, that there's imposters amongst us, the wheat and the tares. And of the people that are humans, they know nothing. They don't know anything. I mean, first of all, how many of them have faith, have genuine faith? That would be the first question. Then of those who claim to have faith, how many have came out of the world and know what's going on? It's so few. I could imagine it's very few, because it takes a certain kind of person to care like that. And I was led to that YouTube channel, and he can show his work. So yeah, I recommend anyone. Pastor Daniel Christ is King. Just type that into the YouTube search bar. His channel is still up as of the timing of this video. And I can see them now. The serpents, the androids, the as he terms them, devil dude chicks. I can see them. Christ opened my eyes. So I try to tell other people what I know, though no one really seems to care. No one wants to hear it. And I watched his videos, I listened to his streams, and he taught me a lot. And now here I am now, making my own videos, hoping to do the same for somebody else. There's so much to get into with all this, but that's pretty much the gist of it, of how I came out of the world, and Christ opened my eyes, and all glory goes to Christ for that. And the world we exist in, this reality is not what it seems. It's you could call it an illusion, a veil. It's just meant to get your soul, to drag you to hell. Not everyone is a human. Read the parable of the wheat and the tares. You don't have to take my word for it. It's biblical. It's all there. There's so much to get into, so much I could talk about. But the most important thing to anyone listening to my videos is you must come out of that world spiritually and be born of the Spirit and have that relationship with Christ, because time's short. Tomorrow's not promised. You don't want to be one of the people that hears, "I never knew you." Because there's people that think they're going to heaven, and they ain't going. It's in the Bible. Go read it yourself. the lukewarm too. You were neither hot nor cold. I wish you were either one or the other. It's up to the individual. Just like I figured this stuff out and put the pieces together, you can too. And it's just like these videos I make, like I said, the glory goes to Christ. It's not of me. It's the one in me. I am the vessel. Like I've said before in a previous video, you can't bear fruit unless you remain in him and he remains in you. You can't. So people that are trying to, I guess, teach either on YouTube or in worldly churches that have not came out of the world and been born of the Spirit, well, they're in trouble because you can't bear fruit unless you remain in him and he remains in you. Unless you've came out of the world, you can't do nothing. Without him, you can do nothing. It's on the individual. And ultimately, it's God's will. It's not my will. It's not your will who gets saved. It's God's will. Let God's will be done. However, one still has to try. One still has to tell people what they know because people, I'm sure, just like myself at one time, there's people looking for answers and they got that feeling like something's wrong. And it's not their fault that they don't know, just like it wasn't my fault. It's nobody's fault. But the most important thing is to be born of the Spirit and invite Christ in. The individual has to do the work. You can watch and listen to these videos and it can just be in one ear and out the other because the individual just doesn't care. Or like it says in the Bible, the gospel is veiled to those who are perishing. So I hope that this video helped, at least on some level, anyone listening understand how I came out of the world. I know it may have seemed kind of vague because, like I said, there's so many specifics to get into. Too many specifics, but that's the best way I could have put it. And God bless you all. And remember that Christ is King.